Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to day 9 of 12 Days of Christmas. Today we're going to be working with a stamp from Sew Susie Stamps called Blowing Snowflake Tree. I'm also going to be introducing a new product that she just recently put in her shop called the Nuvo Glimmer Glitter. This is a paste-like product which is great for creating snow-like effects as well as snowflakes. Now the Blowing Snowflake Tree is not only a new release this month, but it's also an addition to the Blowing Stamp collection. If you follow Sew Susie Stamps, you know that earlier in the year she released Blowing Butterfly, some Blowing Leaves, and Blowing Trees. So I was really excited to actually get my hands on the Blowing Snowflake Tree because it's a great addition to my collection. The ink that I'm using is a Dewdrop, and it's called Moonlight White. It's a fast drying pigment ink, and I thought it would look great with this snowflake tree. I'm using my Misty to make sure that I get a perfect stamped image. Now with this ink, I wanted to make sure that I added just on the surface of the stamp because I wanted to make sure that it didn't smear. Sometimes with these types of stamps and the ink pads, if you press too hard, your ink is going to saturate the actual image and you won't see all the details, especially on snowflakes. So you want to be careful when you are adding your ink to very detailed, intricate stamps. Now white on black is a great effect, but with white on black everything shows. So I had to come in a couple more times to make sure that the stamped image stamped perfectly on my black cardstock. I found this stencil in my stash, and it's from Delta Stencil Mania. It's not a stencil that I typically use, but I thought it would look perfect using my new Nuvo Glimmer Paste. What I really liked about this stencil is that there was a variety of snowflakes on this actual stencil, and they range from smaller to larger, so it gave me lots of options. Now the texture of the Glimmer Paste was a little bit more runny than your typical texture paste. But I thought this was actually better because it would enable me to get all of the details of my snowflake without having to worry about it being too stiff. It did take a little bit longer to dry though because it was a little bit more moist, so I did let the card sit overnight before finishing it up. Now you can see the leftover paste on the stencil, so you can see how shiny and glittery this Glimmer Paste actually is. So if you can't see it on the actual card, believe me, it is giving you lots of shine, lots of glitter, and I was very excited to get my hands on this product. Now, like I indicated earlier, I did let the snowflakes dry overnight. I didn't want to risk them smearing, so I made sure they had several hours to dry. The sentiment that I'm using is also from Sew Susie Stamps, and it's called The Color of Winter. It is a stamp that I used in one of my earlier videos, but I thought it was just the perfect sentiment to go with this Blowing Snowflake Tree. Now I did think about adding some of the paste or some shine to the Blowing Snowflake Tree, but I really liked the white on black effect, so I decided to just leave it as it is. So once I finished stamping my sentiment, I added my black card base to some white cardstock, and that completed the card. So this card does complete week 3 of my series. And I'll be back next week to share with you the 3 final cards in my series. If you've been following along, you know that anybody that's been leaving a comment on every single video will be placed in a drawing to win one of the Tim Holtz Distress Crayon sets at the end of the series. You also need to be subscribed to my channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. The products that I've used will be listed below along with the links to the stores. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and we'll see you again next week.